Hello, everyone. Today, my adolescent development project is going to be on Lionel Messi, his journey and accomplishments. He made many achievements in his past, present, and he's also making some for his future. Messi is one of the best players in the world right now. Him and Ronaldo basically go head to head with each other, battling it out to see who's the best. And Messi, right now on Sunday, is going to be going to a World Cup final. So that's one of the biggest achievements any soccer player could dream of. And a lot of this is due to his adolescent achievements that he made and his journey. Messi was born into a humble, lower-class family in Rosario, Santa Fe, Argentina. His father and mother were both laborers. Basically, he didn't come from like any rich upbringing. He came from a working-class family. But his family loved playing soccer, and he always played as a youngster. He began to play for his local club team when he was 6 and would continue to play in his future. This club he played for was called Newell's Old Boys, and this is a top-tier club in Argentina, but on their youth academy, like their U6 team. By the age of 10, he scored 500 goals for his club. These numbers put up for a youth team were unheard of. Basically, most people don't do this at a level like that. People don't score 500 goals for their club, but Messi being able to do this in basically 4 years, that's 125 goals a season. That's absolutely amazing. Players like him are gems, and this began to put him on the radar of other bigger Argentinian clubs like Boca Juniors and River Plate. These are two of the biggest clubs in Argentina, and at the age of 10 they were scouting him is unbelievable. As Messi was breaking records, unfortunately, he was diagnosed with growth hormone deficiency. This means he would have a lot of developmental difficulties when he hit around 12, 13 with puberty and growth problems as an adolescent. A result of this was he was a lot shorter than his peers. So basically, I have an image on a few slides after this. He is clearly a lot shorter than his other players his age. Unfortunately, his insurance was not able to pay for his treatment at his club, and his club would also not pay for it in Argentina, so he was stuck in a very difficult situation. He was stuck that he couldn't pay for the treatment, and his club wouldn't pay for the treatment, so his door was shutting for his soccer career at this point. He was lacking behind his other teammates in his size, and this really put him at a big disadvantage. But luckily for him, FC Barcelona, which is the biggest club in the world basically, saw that he was scoring a lot of goals and breaking records. So they talked to his family and decided to sign him. And with this agreement, they also said that he would pay for that the club would pay for his treatment, which some sources say was around $1,000 a week. So that's something that Messi and his family would not be able to support off two working labor jobs. So he was very fortunate to have this offer for him, and due to his success, he was given this offer. Initially, Messi had a hard time fitting in at Barcelona. He struggled with being homesick and depression, and he's known to be a more quiet person that doesn't talk much. He was away from his family and his home in Argentina, and he suffered a lot, as well as he had difficulties signing for the club, getting working papers, so he couldn't exactly play. It's not like if you'd go, you can play. You have to get the working papers, and he struggled getting the working papers, so he couldn't even play soccer for a while. But eventually, he would play for Barcelona's youth teams when he got his working papers, and quickly grow interest from the A team at Barcelona. And Messi would play with many current superstars. For example, in this photo, we see Messi. This is the photo I referenced before. He's the short one. He is the 5th player to the right. He's right on the right over there. And to the left, the first player in the red and blue FC Barcelona jersey is Gerard Piqué. He's also one of the best players in the world. As many of Messi's teammates were offered contracts abroad, Messi decided to stay at Barcelona. He started to fall in love with the club, and the club did a lot for him, and the club would also do a lot to keep him. He started to play with the A team at 16, and many of the players that he played against on the A team feared coming up against him. For example, Ludwig Gilly, a player on Barcelona, who is a mature veteran player on the team, said he destroyed us all. They were kicking him all over the place to avoid being ridiculed by this kid. He just got up and kept on playing. He would dribble past 4 players and score a goal. Even the team's starting center back were nervous. He was an alien. So basically, the veteran players at Barcelona were intimidated by a 16-year-old Messi. So this is absolutely amazing that someone could have the skill at his age to be scaring players like this, dribbling around 3, 4 players. Most players at 16 are only playing on high school teams or local clubs. Nobody's really playing on A teams for big-name clubs, especially a club like Barcelona. If you're playing at a club, at a good club, you're usually playing for your local team, not even abroad, especially in Barcelona. That's a huge achievement. Messi would go on to have many achievements at Barcelona at his young age. He would break a lot of records, and he would also do good tasks for the club, whatever they employed him to do, and his tasks, he achieved whatever the club decided to tell him to do. For example, he scored 5 goals in 10 games at 17 years old to save Barcelona's C team from relegation. Basically, how relegation works is if you finish like bottom 3 or 2 teams, depending on the league, you go down to the division below. So Messi scored 5 goals in 10 games at his age, at 17, to save the team from being relegated. And if you get relegated, you lose a lot of money and like sponsorships. So this was huge, especially at 17 years old to be tasked for this. Like, that's unheard of and that's unprecedented. He also trained with the Barcelona A team at 16 and debuted to play for them. In this debut game, he played against FC Porto, a club in Portugal, and that's pretty big. He played an international match. He befriended Ronaldinho and played alongside him and Samuel Eto'o. These are regarded to be 2 of the best forwards Barcelona has ever seen, and this was like a dream team Barcelona had at this time. Ronaldinho is one of the best Brazilian players in the world, and Samuel Eto'o is one of the best African players the world has ever seen. He scored many goals in Spain, internationally, in England, so he played alongside with 2 legends at his age. He also became the youngest El Clasico hat-trick scorer. Basically, a hat-trick is you score 3 goals in a game, and El Clasico is when Real Madrid and Barcelona play against each other. They're the biggest rivals, and this is like, if you score 1 goal, you go down in the history book. Scoring 3 goals at his age, he was like 20. That's absolutely amazing. That's an honor to have at his age. And he is also a role model for millions in the years to come. Throughout his youth and playing career, Messi would be an inspiration to many other players. This would include players like Mario Götze, who is a German player who scored the winning goal in the 2014 World Cup against Messi, actually. You can see in the photo on the right, he has his gold medal on there, Mario Götze, and he is said to have looked up to Messi as his idol when he was younger. Another player who looked up to Messi was Raheem Sterling. He is one of England's best players currently. He comes from a poor background of Jamaican descent, and he is said to have looked up to Messi as well as an idol for when he tried to become one of the best players in the world. And that's the player in the bottom left photo. And finally, another player who looked up to Messi was Mario Balotelli. He's the player in the middle. He was one of the biggest rising stars in soccer, and he was on the same level as Messi growing up. But unfortunately, things didn't work out for him as they did Messi. He just was not. He did not live up to the expectations, but he's said to look up to Messi as well. Thank you, everybody, for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned about one of the best soccer players in the world and also some soccer. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Yeah.